kick it off again really quick. Okay, so you guys, if you don't know why we're on this call, it's because we're going to be going into 2019 and we want to be doing it properly. If you guys haven't seen, IML is leveling up big time right now. We have Les Brown that just joined the company. We have Alex Morton that's going to come out here in Dallas here in a little bit because he sees us making moves out here and stuff like that. And I've also noticed that what I've been doing kind of wrong as a leader, to be honest with you. So pretty much what I've realized is I've been working off the system. And that's something that's a very, very big deal. And that's something that is going on within our organizations as well, you guys, myself, etc. And that's something that we're kind of here to honestly resolve. So with that being said, what this call is going to be about is going over the system that we're going to be plugging into in 2019. So we're going to be setting all this up during this slow period. We're going to come in here, make sure we're all on the same track, and then get plugged into the system, right? So again, one of the main things that we keep seeing is people are wanting to make their own stuff, make their own chats, make their own groups, do their own trading, make their own trainings, all this other stuff, right? But that's really just not the way to go. And so with that being said, the reason why I have Spela on here is because if you don't know who she is, again, she is number one, she's a six-figure trader, a six-figure marketer, okay, separately, by the way, six-figure trader, six-figure marketer. She's corporate within iMarkets Live. If you guys watch IML TV, which hopefully you do, right? She's also the one that controls a lot of the stuff that goes on iMarkets Live. She's created several six figures within trading and in marketing, myself about to be included with that as well, right? So I can go on and on about Spela. The other thing I can say about her is when you guys are looking at these leaders, right? You're looking at these lady bosses that are coming into the industry. The thing that I've noticed about Spela is nobody talks about her as a lady boss. She's just Spela. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, right? But she's not seen as a lady boss. She's just seen as Spela. She's a leader of everybody in iMarkets Live, I'm telling you right now. So with that being said, we're extremely blessed to be on this call. If you do not have a pen and paper in front of you right now, you should. Honestly, you shouldn't even be on this call right now if you don't have a pen and paper. I'm just being honest. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Spela. Spela, I'll be taking notes, and thank you so much for hopping on this call.
Can you hear me, Caleb?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks, guys, for having me on this call. Happy holidays. I know we're getting closer to Christmas, and you guys all decided to show up right when you could be making excuses and doing other things, you know. And I always say we either make excuses or we make money, or not. We can't do both, you know. And having the opportunity to work with Caleb now over the last few years and getting to know him, he's an amazing individual because every time we talk, it's how can we level the team up, right? How can we help the team get to the next level? And it's always about you guys, and that's what a true leader is. That's what a true influencer is somebody that isn't there to rank themselves up, but is to help everybody else rank up. And that's something that's been a huge moral within my career is, you know, by default, you're going to rank up if you help people on your team rank up, you know. So we're getting closer to the holidays. It is December. This is usually when in network marketing everything kind of starts to slow down because people are in holiday mode. But this is the time where you want to go 10 times stronger with you and your teams, because that's what's going to set momentum going off into 2019. And we only have about 90 days till convention, you know. So where do you see yourself walking across that stage at convention? That's huge. That's key, is preparing yourself and having a plan, right? That's huge. You have to know where you are so that you can know where you're going at all times. So myself and Caleb have been talking about the last couple days, and like he brought up systems, right? We went to Las Vegas GoPro, Eric Worre convention a couple weeks ago now, I think 2 weeks ago. And it was incredible. John C. Maxwell was there, who, if you guys don't know who he is, he's one of New York bestsellers author. His net worth is over $700 million. He's written about 80-something books. Also, Magic Johnson was there. So it wasn't just, yes, it's network marketing professionals, but it wasn't just that. It was success principles in general from Magic Johnson, who was, you know, professional basketball player, now a businessman, John C. Maxwell author. And as we got to learn from these different people, you know, no matter what the vehicle is, no matter what you're doing, success has all the same principles, right? And then at the same time, we got to learn from network marketers within the industry that have made hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars over the last 10, 20, 30 years in the company that they've been with. So, you know, that was key. And I want to share with you guys something that really stuck with me from that event that Eric Worre talked about, and it was 100%. One second, something's going on with my Zoom. It was 100% preparing your mind for this industry, right? And sometimes, you know, people reach out to me and they're asking me questions, and I always say, have you studied the industry that you're in, right? If you've ever went to college or university or planned on it, or you're there now, before you picked a major, you studied everything about it, right? How much money are you going to make? How many years you have to go to school, you know, the best locations, things like that. You really studied your major before you picked one, or were going to pick one, right? So you're in the network marketing industry. You want to be a professional in network marketing or professional in trading. The same principles apply, right? But have you researched everything about network marketing? Have you researched everything about trading and Forex, right? Have you gone out there and really researched everything that you need to know, right, to be a professional in this industry and to be educated? So if you haven't, that's okay. Don't feel bad, but Google network marketing. Find out how big of an industry it is, right? $180 billion a year. That pays out more than entertainment, than the music industry, NFL, baseball, right? It pays out. It is the highest paying industry, one of the highest paying industries in the world besides investing, which is the realm we are also in, right? Forex, 5.4 trillion a day. So understand that you want to be educated on what you're doing. So in network marketing and any business model, there's always 3 phases, right? And your business may be in one of these phases right now. Phase 1 is momentum, right? Phase 1, I'm going to share my screen here. Phase 1 is momentum. I'm going to draw for you guys what Eric Worre drew for us, and it just brought so much clarity, right? So we all want to have momentum in our business, right? Momentum means that it's shooting up, okay? Now, here's the thing. Momentum only lasts about 12 to 18 months. That is the most momentum will last. There will always be in every business, network marketing, not network marketing, you will have a momentum boost. You will have phase 2, which is a plateau, and then you will have a reversal or a pullback, right? We're traders, so we can use these cool terms. In every model, in network marketing, you will always have these 3 phases. Some people are addicted to momentum. And those are the company hoppers, because they join a company, they get excited, they're addicted to the adrenaline, they have a huge momentum boost, and when the momentum starts to die, they look for the next company, and they go do the same thing, and they just continue to hop company to company looking for something where the grass is greener, right? Understand that if you want to create a legacy, and this is what Eric Worre talked about, a legacy in this industry, generations to come, right? You have to understand your business model. So you have to prepare yourself for all 3 phases in network marketing. Momentum, when things are fun, right? Plateau, when it starts to die out, and then your reversal. Now, these lines signify years, right? So throughout the years, these phases are going to continue to happen over and over and over again, right? Then you get another momentum boost. Then you get a plateau. Sorry if it's loud, guys. I just came home to my family's house and it's loud. So you can see that this phase happens, right? Now, here's the key thing that Eric Worre broke down, and everyone was just like mind blown, right? So the key thing that we want to create in our business is influencers, okay? And what do I mean by influencer? I mean leader. I don't mean like an influencer on social media with a big following. No, when you hear me say influencer, I mean a leader, okay? And there's 5 qualities to a leader that I'll go over in a little bit. But here's the thing. The average business in network marketing creates about 10% a year, right? 10% a year of influencers. So it's a steady line going to the upside, right? Now, here's the thing. This is your strong, solid foundation. Now, these 3 phases in network marketing is simply to buy you time to create more influencers. I'm going to say that again. these three phases, momentum, plateau, and retracement, is simply to buy you time to create more influencers. If you are not creating more influencers in your business, your volume will always come back down to the same point. Let me change my color. Your volume will do this and come back down to the support line, right? Trade talk. We don't want our volume coming to a support line. We want our volume coming to a trend line, right? Therefore, it is key to always create influencers in all three phases in network marketing. We do not want to go into management mode. We do not want to go push our teams when our business is in retracement, right? You guys like those trade terms, right? It was funny. At convention, all the traders were looking at like, okay, trend lines, no support resistance lines. So it's key in network marketing that you do not fall into management mode, right? You're always looking for, and if you're just by yourself right now, you just started your business, that's 100% fine, but you want to duplicate yourself, right? So this is something that he really clarified in business, to understand what our main objective is, because this solid foundation is what's going to create a long-term legacy. There was people at the GoPro event where their business was passed down from their parents and their grandparents. They didn't even build the business from scratch. The business was passed down generations. These companies that have been around, for time now. So that's what we want to do, is we want to create a rock solid foundation of creating influencers at all times in any phase of our business. So some of you may be in plateau right now, some of you may be in retracement, some of you may be in momentum. Understand, all this simply is fake volume to buy you time to create more influencers. So when that retracement happens, your volume does not retrace back to the same point it was before. So that is key. 38.2. Yeah, I see you guys. Yeah, and if you didn't go to GoPro this year, go next year. It's huge going event to event. Every 3 months, you guys should be getting to some sort of event that's going to help take you to the next level in your business, investing into your business. Whatever residual income you guys are at, or whatever you're making trading, take a percentage and do, invest into some sort of education, because that's what's going to get you to the next level in your business. So look, I'm going to break down for you guys what an influencer is, what are the qualities, and how you can apply it with duplication. So after GoPro, I decided to make an influencer training, right? I can get on Zooms like this, I can train, but the sole fact is, if you want to have a large organization, there has to be a system in place, right? Where it's not dependent on a Zoom, it's not dependent on you, but it can happen 10, 20 levels down where someone may not know you, someone may not have access to you to teach them this, right? So this training is what's going to actually be, we're making a company-wide IML one, corporate one that'll be released soon, company-wide. For now, I made one for the team just so that we don't have to wait around, but we can leverage and utilize it. So let me share my screen. The Zoom's bugging out. So right now, it's in our Facebook group under units. There's different trainings. So we have just discussion, right, which is a big news feed of where people post. Units is where everything's more organized. It creates a learning environment. So we have, for new members, understanding products, network marketing training, and so on. We have influencer development here, right? And here's one of the biggest things Eric Worre talked about was, when we look to find people to build the business, right, people to launch IBOs, a lot of the times we look for potential. We say this person has a lot of potential because they're a network marketer. They have a network. This person has potential because they're famous. This person has potential because they're verified on Instagram, right? We come up with all these different things and we talk about how people have potential, right? And we waste time on people that have potential. But if they're not hungry, it does not mean they're going to, it doesn't mean we just wasted all this time on people with potential, right? Because if I've had multiple 6- and 7-figure earners join my business, talk about how they built organizations of 20,000 in the past and brought in 2 people. And I spent so much time, energy into these people because I said they have potential, and it was just a waste. So you want to look for people that are hungry. That's it. Hungry. Somebody that is willing to do whatever it is that you say. You give them a call to action. If they do it, they're hungry. If they're showing up, they're hungry. Just like you guys are hungry because you decided to show up on a Saturday, middle of the day, Christmas weekend. So what are the characteristics of an influencer? It's very simple. These are what you're going to develop on your journey, right? Nobody just starts as an influencer. So number one is being independent, right? You want to come, and you will come into a point as you rank up that you don't need to depend on Caleb, on, any of your uplines, sidelines, cross lines. You understand exactly what you need to do. Problem solving. There's things that are going to happen in the business, whether it's processors, back office, Forex, whatever it is, there's going to be problems. Now, are we negative and do we complain, or do we just find a solution and move on, right? The next thing is consistency. This is a huge quality, and John C. Maxwell talked about this. He said, everything worthwhile is uphill. Said everything worthwhile is uphill. And he said this, right? Here's your uphill. So what people start to do is they start working, they start being consistent, so they start walking up the hill, right? And then they decide to take a day off, and then when you take a day off, you slide back down, right? Because you slide faster than down a hill than walking up a hill, right? Then they start to be consistent again, so they start walking up the hill, then they take a day off, they slide back down. Then they start working again, they're walking up the hill, then they take a day off, they slide back down. And what happens is you end up being in the same point over and over and over and over again, and your business isn't moving because you're not consistent every day. You take days off, right? And it's faster to roll down a hill, slide down a slide, than go up it, right? So consistency, John C. Maxwell, for, I think he said 54 years, has never taken a day off. Not that he doesn't enjoy his life, but he does the 5 small things that he went over. That's a whole different training that he does every single day that may take 1, 2, 3 hours of his day. Every day for 54 years, right? No wonder why the man's made $700 million. It's crazy, right? So consistency is huge. The next one is creating action. Do you create action in your business? Do you help your new members create action, or are you waiting for somebody to tell you to do something? Are you waiting for a promotion from the company? Are you waiting for Caleb to call you and say, hey, we need to move your business? Or are you creating your own action? That's a huge quality. And then the last one is a big vision, right? Having a big vision to be here generations from now, to create a huge movement. Les Brown, who's a legend, just joined our business as an IBO, joined IML as an IBO, not corporate, independent business owner, building the business. He said himself, at GoPro, he said, I will bring in 1 million customers myself. Literally, that's what he told us. I will bring in 1 million customers myself. And he said, I will be a Chairman 100 at convention in March. Right? Chairman 100. So it's super cool, super awesome. And you guys will develop these qualities as you're ranking up, as you're growing in the business. Next thing is 4 levels of development. Now, obviously, there's more depth to these. So as you guys will go through this training, you'll understand more of it, right? One sec. Yeah, 1 million himself. So 4 levels of development. This was the key. This one thing right here that one of my mentors told me was the key from taking my business from about 5,000 to 6,000 a month to 6 figures. 5,000 to 6,000, a month to 6 figures a year, to creating a multiple 6-figure business, was this key that I learned about 2-3 years ago now. And it was the 4 levels of development. Now, this goes along with ranking up. This goes along with duplication in your business. This is the key to it all, okay? So I'm going to break it down for you. So if you join the business today, right, you're brand new, you want to launch the business, you're an IBO, okay? I work for you. Why? You're brand new, you have no idea what's going on, but you want to launch the business, you're hungry, right? That's all I look for is hunger. So I work for you. So what do I simply do? I teach you how to invite. We write down a list of 50, make 10 if it's a customer, I do a list of 10 with customers. If you're launching the business, 50, 100, 200 lists. And what we're simply doing is I teach you how to invite and how to edify. And we sit down together and we invite all those people to an exposure together. I'm doing all the work. I'm answering their questions. I'm handling their objections. I'm closing them. I'm getting them started. So you get to leverage me to help you create results being brand new in this business, right? So from there, we go through a list of 10, right? Usually the customer at least gets their 2 and free, or sometimes 3, right? We go a list of 50, we're going to sign up 5 to 10 people. We go through your list of 100, we're going to sign up 10 to 20 people. We go through your list of 200, we're going to sign 30, 40, maybe 50 people, right? So now you just, in the first 24 to 48 hours, right, you just created a result in your business. Now, and you've seen me expose people and do all of these things 10, 50, 100, 200 times. So at this point, you have a story, you have a small result, and you see me do it a bunch of times. Now we start to work together. So what I find people in network marketing do a lot of the time when they start building a team is they start training. So they'll get on a webinar and train their team how to handle objections, what to say to this objection and that, and what to say to close, and all these different things. And you spend all this time training, and then people go apply that. They fail maybe once or twice and they give up, right? So rather than spending time training people, you show. So I'm showing you what to do. Now we start working together. Now I might have you open and share your story for 2 minutes, say how you're a P150 and you made $100 trading, this week or whatever. So we start working together. Again, you're creating results, and at this point, we're also starting to create a new success story on your team. From there, usually you're about a P600. Now, when you fall into this phase, you've seen it multiple times. Now you start trying. So I step back and I start to see you work. You're doing most of the presentations. You're handling most of the questions. I'm there supporting, and I'm stepping in where you need help, and I'm critiquing you, saying, hey, you can do this better next time. You did this great. So now you're flowing, and I'm just there as the assistant coach. You need help? I'm there to help you, right? And again, this is as you're ranking up. From this point, about P6 to P1000 falls into the phase of I see you duplicate. At this point, you can take that entire process and duplicate it into a whole new person. That's duplication in your business. At that point, you know how to answer questions, you know how to handle objections, how to close, how to launch a new member, all the skills you know how to do. That is simply duplication in your business. Now, if this month we created you into a P1000, right? Now you know how to duplicate that. So the next month, I'm going to create a new P1000 and you're going to create a new P1000. So there's 2 of us creating 2 new ranks, 2 new influencers. So the next month there's 4. Then there's 4 going to create 4 more. Then it's 8. Then there's 8 going to create 8 more, 16. That's where duplication happens in your business. And the key to Chairman 10 is 7 to 10 P1000s in your business. So sometimes where you guys see, people hit rank chairman in maybe 3, 4, 5 months, it's simply following that process. I become P1000, I know the process through this 4 levels of development. Now I teach somebody else and continue that process, right? Again, the key is to developing influencers in your business, right? So 4 levels of development is literally the key to you, and now you need to identify yourself. If you're a P1000 and you don't know these levels, you need to step back, call your upline and say, can you go through these with me so I can learn them and I can duplicate them, right? Or if you're an IBO or P6 or P150, where do you fall here? Like what category do you fall into? If you're an IBO, your only skill set is very, very simple, is knowing how to invite and how to edify. Can you repeat the 4 levels for notes? Yeah, I'll repeat them, and then you guys could also watch this video that breaks it down. So 1 is I work for you, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So 1 is I work for you. So you join the business, I teach you how to invite and how to edify, and I'm doing all the work. right? I'm answering their questions, I'm handling their objections, I'm getting them started, and I'm launching them, right? From there, we get your group of 2, 5, 10, 20, however many are starting with you, depending on the size of your list. And now we work together to taproot those people in those lists, right? So when we work together, you're generally a P150, and we start tapping your list to help you rank up to P600, right? From there, I see you work. You're generally a P600, and now I'm still there helping. Maybe I'm just closing calls, but for the most part, you're doing everything. I'm here helping, watching, critiquing. And then the last one is I see you duplicate. I can completely step away, not pay any attention to you, and you know how to do that process by yourself and create another influencer. And that's duplication in your business, right? That's helping people leverage you, or you leverage me to help you build your business. That's all this business is about. That's all network marketing is about, right? People way overcomplicate it. It's so simple, okay? Next is your 7 skills of network marketing. There's 7 skills. This is all you need to know. This business is simple, and sometimes we tend to overcomplicate it. And that's a process that I went throughout my journey of network marketing. Was my business wasn't growing, so I was trying to invent and reinvent all these millions of systems and websites and all these things, and it is a waste of time. Just being 110% honest with you, it is a waste of time to create your own systems, to create your own websites, because that is time missed where you could be recruiting, where you could be building, where you could be developing new influencers. So use the systems that the company has in place, use the systems that your teams have in place, right? Chairman and above, and that's what's going to help you guys get to that level. Because if you know the information, you say, I know the information for a chairman, I've been talking to chairman, I know everything, I can train like them, but you're not a chairman and don't have those results, you still have to apply it, right? So it's always key to break down and know what skill set you need to be working on now to get to the next level, and that's what this training does. Based on your rank, it tells you what skill sets you should be doing. So 7 skills of network marketing, going through it quickly. 1 is finding prospects, how to constantly expand your list after you go through your hot and warm market. 2 is inviting prospects to an exposure, a video, an event, a meeting, a webinar, whatever, it doesn't matter where, it's inviting them. Number 3 is presenting and sharing your testimony effectively, right? I don't mean presenting a whole presentation, I mean being able to share your story in 2 minutes, and there's a formula to sharing your story. Sometimes I hear people share their stories and they'll talk for 20 minutes, right? That's great, but when you're talking to people, you have to know how to share your story effectively and pique interest. 4 is following up, 5 is closing, 6 is launching a new distributor, and 7 is promoting events. So depending on time, I can go into these a little bit deeper, but honestly, you guys learn these through the 4 levels of development. So here's the thing. A lot of the time, we want to learn all these skills. And it's a waste because there's only specific skills you should be doing as you rank up. So very simple, this training breaks down where you are in the comp plan, what skill you should be doing, the only things you should be doing. 1, for your skill, 2, for your personal development. So as an IBO, you want to know the basic stuff of back office, comp plan, how to place customers, simple stuff. We also have what's the 4-hour work week, which is your key to your business and creating culture. So you're teaching these skills during the first couple levels of development, correct? So as you're going through the 4 levels of development, you're learning these skills. Exactly. So I could sit here on a training and go in depth and teach you every skill, right? But that's just me sitting here training. I'd rather do it with you. I'd rather make the calls, handle the objections, do everything and get you results at the same time, right? And that's huge. That was literally like a game changer in my business. And it's so simple, we just don't think of it. So as an IBO, understanding basics, the first personal development is your first year in network marketing. That's going to give you basic skill sets. If you haven't read that book, I highly suggest it. And then it's committing to the 4-hour work week. This is something that I learned from Matt Rosa and Jason Brown. This is what they have applied in all of their business models. All their chairmen do their own 4-hour work weeks, and it's to 1, create culture on your team, and it's getting people to commit to those 4 hours a week to help them get results. So I like to call it the 4-hour success week rather than work week, and I'll break that down a little bit more later. So skill sets as an IBO. There's a PDF, so you can download that PDF, and in the video I go into what those skill sets are and I explain them in depth. So 15-minute video. And as an IBO, the only skill set you need is finding prospects, inviting prospects, edify, right? So you have those skill sets. You learn those skill sets and you do them in your level 1 of development, which is working with your sponsor, your upline, whoever's launching you, right? So I'm not going to go in depth on it, but pretty much each video breaks down, here's the skills, here's the PDF for that rank. You do that enough times, you're going to rank up to P600, right? Don't try to skip skills. It's just going to hurt you. From there, there's an inviting challenge. So you can do this challenge at any time. We do it here and there. In 72 hours, I challenge you guys to send out 100 messages to an exposure. 100 people, sending them to an exposure, and that's going to create a little bit of boost and momentum in your business, where out of 100, you're going to get at least 10 people that are going to be ready to get started. You repeat that process with 10 people, now you got 1,000 more people that are exposed, right? So very simple challenge. Memory jogger, you can download this. This is if, like, you know, you've been in network marketing, you've gone through your hot list, your warm list. This is a memory jogger that'll take you back to like your high school days or elementary school days, where you might think of people that you wouldn't think of off the top of your head. Next is P600. So as a P600 for personal development, we suggest Think and Grow Rich and Go Pro. The audio, Your Wishes, Your Commands, CD 1 through 14, and adding Tony Robbins' 15 minutes to prime to your morning routine. Those skill sets and that mindset development will help you go to P1000 on a personal development level. And then Platinum 600 skill sets, 5-minute video that teaches you what that skill set is, and a PDF for you to download it. It's teaching you how to follow up and create an effective testimony. P1000, you have another inviting challenge. P1000, personal development and skill set, and then it just continues from there by rank. So again, it'll hurt you if you skip this, like skip ahead in skill sets. Just know what your skill set is. As you rank up, you add more skills to your tool belt, and that'll just help you rank up to the next level. So you guys can go through this training, check it out, leverage it, take notes, ask questions. But that is key. Personal development as well as knowing the skill set, and then just doing it over and over and over again will help you all rank up. So the other thing that I want to go over was the 4-hour work week. This is something that's created a huge culture within my business. Is, yes, you know, we have IML TV and we should be leveraging that, right? Here's the thing, and I'm a trader, so this was hard for me in the beginning of my business. I'm a trader. I was a trader first. I made my first 6 figures trading before I had big success in network marketing. So what I used to do was we used to run our own London sessions, our own New Yorks, our own trainings every day, and we weren't leveraging the system. The system is IML, and we were becoming the experts, which is, it's fine to be the expert, but you're never going to grow your business in a large organization, and you're never going to have the time freedom if you're not leveraging the system, because you're enabling people to depend on you, which turns into a job, right? So what we do is, when I finally realized that over time, one of my mentors pointed it out, now we want to be system dependent, right? Because Chris Terry's not the expert, right? The educators are not the experts. It's the system that educates them, the how they get their questions answered on IML TV, the tools that they can use to make money. That's the system you want to make your team dependent on, and you're just the guiding hand, right? So what the 4-hour work week did was a balance between giving and training my team, right? Because I enjoy it, I love it, right? All this time in the Forex side, and it found a balance of how do we still create a culture with our teams, help our teams, but make them dependent on the system rather dependent on me. So it's the solution to that is the 4-hour success week, okay? The 4-hour success week is very simple. On Monday, it's mindset mastery. We go over the mindset needed for success, for trading, different things like that in life, just basic skills that you'll learn from all different people. So, you know, I might say something and it might not make sense, but someone else might say it and may make more sense for you. Tuesday is beginner setup and Forex strategy. So the first 30 minutes we'll go through and we send beginners there. The person helps them. It's on a Zoom, so it's interactive, helps them set up their broker, whatever questions they have, walks them through the back office, does all that stuff. And then the second 30 minutes, we have an educator come on and teach a strategy. So one week might be harmonic strategy. The next week it might be, you know, market structure. One week might be news. So we do different strategies that people can interact with the educators, you know, through Zoom and ask questions. And again, it's the same on IML-TV, but it's just more personal, creates more culture. Then Wednesday is opportunity call. Okay, so we do an opportunity call where we all funnel people to that call and make it team-based, where we have myself and other leaders and new success stories running these calls, sharing their testimony, sharing their stories. And then Thursday is marketing training, where we do different types of exercises and things like that to train on, you know. So next week we're doing, what's it called? It's an inviting exercise. So we're literally going to sit there for an hour and work on calling each other, pretending to call each other, inviting to exposures, get people comfortable. If maybe you're not comfortable doing that, right? You just take an hour and you practice with different people to get you comfortable. So we do different things, but that's a 4-hour success week. You know, you plug into it every week. And again, if you won't show up, your teams are not going to show up. So it creates a culture of all the leaders showing up, right, which is what you guys are, and then also getting your teams to show up, their new team members to show up, and so on. So the 4-hour success week has been working incredible within different organizations. I know David does it, Austin does it. A bunch of Matt's other teams do it as well. And it works well because here's the thing. We all come together and collaborate, right? So it's not just a team of 10, 20, 50 on these calls, but when we all collaborate, there's 100, 200, 300, sometimes 500 people on these calls asking questions, creating culture, getting to know each other. So it becomes a family, it becomes a group, right, where we have a culture, but again, it's the customers and the IBOs are system dependent rather than dependent on us to do sessions, you know, live trading sessions and all those different things. So for our success week, we're going to be doing a huge launch on January 2nd. It's going to be a 90-day run. We have a group, Facebook group that'll be launched for anybody that's serious to run for the next 90 days to convention. Okay, it's going to be a kickoff January 2nd going over that, and then from there we'll continue our success week every single day after that. I think it's Tuesday we do the kickoff, and then Wednesday we'll have op call, Thursday marketing training. January business picks up. I mean, this is, you know, new year. People want to try new things, do new things, and this is the time to run. So I highly suggest don't slack off this time of year. It can literally explode your business. 90 days can change your business tremendously. So what this is going to be is it's going to be a call to action, right? Because we want to find people that are hungry, right? Again, not potential, not excuses, but hungry. Because everybody goes through something in their life, right? But if you're willing to sacrifice things to show up, that means you're serious. So there'll be a call to action. Once you perform that call to action, you'll get access to the group. There'll be a second call to action. If you do that second call to action, you're able to do the 90-day run. If you don't, you get removed from the group. We're not going to allow people in all the time. It's literally 90-day run, January 2nd, couple days. People filter in and we run. If you're not showing up to calls or doing the call to actions to help you guys develop through all this training that we went through, then you're just going to be removed because, again, we're looking for people that are serious and hungry to rank up. You know, from now to 90 days, you should be able to rank up 2 to 3 ranks higher than you currently are. So imagine, you know, how much that could change your life. Whether you're an IBO, 2 to 3 ranks higher is P600, P1000. Maybe you're a P1000, you should be able to hit P5000, if not chairman, right? So 90 days, huge things are possible if you plug in and you sacrifice things in your life and you show up. So what I'll do is I'll open up, let me screenshot this. I'll open this up if you guys have any questions. How do we get access to the YOB Facebook page? Go ahead and talk to Caleb, and he'll add you guys, those of you that aren't in it, and you guys can go through and check that out. Biggest thing, that I can encourage you guys is I used to take this information and stuff like that from trainings and create my own systems. As a P1000, as a P2000, at one point at a P600, I would try to go out there and create all of my own systems. And again, I'm telling you from experience, it's a waste of time, because this is time you should be building. This is a time where you should be system dependent. So I'm excited, guys, to be here, to help you guys. Those of you that are hungry, I'm willing to do calls, Zooms, trainings, help you guys build and really level up your life in 90 days, because when you have that residual income, right, it's huge cash flow that you guys can fund your brokers with. It's huge cash flow where you can go out there and buy properties and create more income streams, right? Whatever we're doing this for, there's a why, and you want to use Forex to fund your passions. You want to use network marketing to fund your passions. And it'll completely change your life, So I'm going to open up the floor if you guys have any questions for me. How do we get a hold of you? We're going to be in a Facebook group chat for the 90-day run, and you guys, I'm communicating, or I will be communicating in there with you guys. You can message me on Facebook as well. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back, but I try to get back to everybody.
Hey, Spela, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I guess you could already tell that our team is majority traders and really, really, upcoming, very, very expertise traders. But I guess from your standpoint of making six figures trading and, multiple six figures marketing, how do you balance that during your day? We kind of integrated IPA hours during your day and kind of trading at night. IPA hours working very, very well, especially if you can compact those time frames. But, seeing that success that you've seen, is the IPA hours the best thing? Is it compacting time frames? Is it, doing different things during the IPA hours? But what is your kind of viewpoint on that?
I'm not sure what does IPA stand for?
Just income producing activities like one-on-ones, two-on-one.
Got you. Yeah, so what I suggest, if you haven't read it, it's called The Power of Focus, and it teaches you how to do a lot of work in a small period of time. So this is what I apply is, my phone goes off 24/7. So if I were to just sit here and answer messages, I would not get anything else done. So what I apply is every 30 minutes, I'm doing a specific thing. So to balance trading and networking, that was one of the hardest things for me for years was, I spend an hour to two, if that, trading. I spend an hour to two, if that, back testing, right? And then beyond that, the rest of my day is building in business, because you don't want to over trade, So if you're spending literally all day staring at in the beginning, that's good, staring at the charts, getting to know market movement. But at the same time, you don't want to be over trading and spending, just too much time on the markets where you make stupid decisions. So I simply do the power of focus, where I'll say, okay, this hour in the morning, I answer all my messages, and then I take a second hour at night to answer all my messages. Within the rest of the day, I'm not answering my phone. I have a specific hour set to this hour. I'm calling all my leaders. This hour I'm trading. This hour I'm going to work out. So I compact everything in those time periods and then schedule my calls every 15 to 30 minutes. So I know all day, every day what I'm doing, and really just compact it, like you said. So try to balance, trading and networking, and just read The Power of Focus. It'll completely break it down amazingly, but just focus and do what you have to do and then move to the next thing. Do what you have to do and move to the next thing. Otherwise, you spend time being busy rather than productive.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a sheet. I can send it to you guys in a group. Let me pull it up. This is what I use. I don't know if you guys use any sheet, but I hope you guys write down your schedule for what you're doing every day. But what I do is I take the sheet and I have it printed for the whole year, and every night I fill it out the night before, and I know what I'm doing for the next day. Let me send it to myself and share the screen.
Spela, so there's two things that I've personally noticed that, and this is on myself, but then I look down and I see, around, I should say, and I see everyone doing the same thing. I can honestly say, which, I already called you about it, but I would have had, I probably would have been at Chairman 25 by now had I just stayed on the system. And so I think that the two, or I'm going to say three biggest things that I've realized that most people do is, number one, again, leaving the system, right? And I'm more so asking you if you think this is correct, Spela, but leaving the system, doing your own thing, doing your own trainings and stuff like that. Because what I've realized is, you would never throw a training during, you specifically, Spela, you would never throw a training during 7-figure mentorship call, would you?
No.
Right, and I've noticed that not even our team, I'm talking about everyone around, that's something that they would do because they want to train their team, and they'll do it during that instead of being mentored by the 7-figure earners. That's something that they'll do. And I also look at that in the same thing as IML TV as well. 7-figure mentorship might be, marketing and mindset, but then you also have IML TV, and it's like, you wouldn't do that on 7-figure mentorship call. So we shouldn't be doing that on trading either, correct?
No. You guys shouldn't be doing your own calls, training people, live trading, anything like that. I used to do it. I used to spend 3 to 5 hours a day doing it, plus one-on-ones and all that, and it made people dependent on me. And then if I couldn't do it for a week, literally people would quit my business, leave. Not only that, that's what the system's there for, right? So you can answer people's questions and talk to them, but don't be running your own Forex trainings. Do it within the 4-hour work week where people get the culture and the education they need on a more personal level. But, if you want to grow a large organization, you can't do that.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Yeah, and so this is the sheet I use. Quote of the day, follow-ups, to-dos, grateful, goals, and then literally every 30 minutes broken down. Where you guys can go in there and just schedule everything in the night before, and make sure you're taking, an hour for yourself. I take 2 hours with my phone off, an hour at the gym. So really make sure you guys schedule those things in so you're taking care of your mindset and your health, because that's going to help you, on the activity side. And that's something that you guys will learn in Your Wish is Your Command if you haven't listened to it, that Kevin Trudeau goes over is, you could work 16, 20 hours a day, but if you're not doing the mindset work, you're just going to be running on a treadmill. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself and doing the mindset work. He says that I think it's 28 seconds or something like that of visualization cuts off 25,000 hours of physical work, right? So it's crazy. So make sure you guys are meditating, doing, your morning rituals, you're working out, you're eating right, because that's going to just help you attract things on a much greater level than just working nonstop. So that's key. But yeah, that, like Caleb said, my biggest thing is combine and do things together. For example, I can give you the example with Miami. When we moved to Miami 2 years ago, not knowing anybody, and started building a team. There was other teams already out here, but we were just doing our own thing. We didn't want to combine. We would, they're not traders, they're just networkers. We'd say and do all these things, and we would grow, but not fast. And when we started combining, and Matt and Jason were like, let's do events together, our teams grew so much more faster because, we're leveraging each other's knowledge. We also have the law of familiarity. So I could tell my team, because I was working with them every day out here and doing events with them, right? And I could say something and they don't do it. And then Julian says the exact same thing and people take action. So you shouldn't just be surrounding your team with yourself as a leader. You have to surround your team with other leaders, other teams. That's what's going to help them level up. That's what's going to help you level up, because if you only listen to yourself, and you've never been a higher rank, you can't rank up, right? So you have to make sure you guys are surrounding yourself with other people that are higher than you, because you don't know what you don't know, right? You're going to learn from them. So when we started working with the Miami team together, our events we would do 2 a week at that time. We'd be 500 to 800 every single day. Like, people showing up, opportunity, prospects, crazy amounts of growth, where we'd have 50, 100 people signing up in a day, right? Why? Because we leverage each other, working with other teams and just having that bigger groups. Like our 4-hour work weeks, sometimes we work with some of the different chairmen as well. And we'll bring other chairmen on from different organizations to give nuggets, and we'll have calls of 1,000 people. It's good. It leverages each other's teams to grow. So just plug in, it's just simple tweaks in your business that'll take your business from a couple hundred a month to a couple thousand a month to, tens of thousands of dollars a month.
And I have another question, because I think that, so what I've realized is I don't think that a lot of people want to necessarily, what I've realized, Spela, is a lot of the times and this was more so when I was up and coming, but when I was personally wanting to do my own thing, it wasn't necessarily in this ego thing either. What I've also realized it was more so because you feel as if you're not able to build that familiarity with the team, if that makes sense, or that culture with the team and that bond with the team, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if everyone else agrees, but I think that's why I used to do that a lot, which I actually have been doing that recently as well. So what are a couple of things that you could recommend as far as, let's just say IML TV? Because I've realized that I think a lot of people don't like to, they don't utilize IML TV more so because they feel like no one else is doing it, or they can't see their friends on it and stuff like that. That's what I've realized is a major thing for me personally. I don't know about everyone else.
Yeah, so what we like to do is called watch parties, whether it's offline or online, and we'll pick a specific trader and we'll all get together and just put them on the screen and take notes, hang out together, get pizza. So it creates culture, and with your team where you're having fun, but you're learning from these educators, and leveraging the system, doing that. So I would do watch parties with your teams. Again, offline or online, pizza and pips. Yeah. Where you guys just have fun and have fun together and learn, and find about 3 traders that you follow and then just get on all their sessions. Vegan pizza and pips. I like the first one better. So, make sure you guys are just do watch parties and get together, have fun a couple times a week. And watch different traders. There's traders that trade live, so I have my newer teams and markets get on and trade live with them, or educational ones as well.
And then one last thing too, Spela, this is more so for everyone. I know we have several people on here that are just dying to, and I ask you about this all the time. I'm more so asking in front of the team for it, you know what I mean? But a lot of people, again, this is a trading team, are aspiring to do something, with iMarkets Live, or, be a product of some nature and stuff like that. So I know this is a question that everyone probably wants to ask you, but nobody is going to, so I'll do it. What is the steps for somebody who's aspiring to be on IML TV at some point in their life, or any other products of the company?
Yeah, so anybody that wants to, help people on that greater scale as an educator, there's a couple different processes you go through, but the biggest thing is within 2019, there's going to be so many more ways for traders to make money. So we have a bunch of new product releases. I'm not going to mention them. I'll keep them a surprise for corporate. But there's going to be about 4 or 5 different avenues to make money as an educator. So whether it's IML TV, whether it's Pip Talk Premium, or some of the other things we'll have, the biggest thing is a track record, my FX book of your trades, and then recorded trainings. If you are doing, say the 4-hour work week and you have a group on that's learning, recorded trainings would be huge. And then just understand that sometimes you could be a good trader, but you might not be a good teacher or an educator. So we really evaluate, okay, well, are you good at getting on sessions and educating people, or are you good at maybe just sending signals, not talking to people, or what it is. But the biggest thing is have that live track record over, I'd say at least 6 to 12 months minimum that we can follow, and then a recorded training with, a bigger group. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wasn't there a rank? Am I incorrect on that? I thought there was a rank requirement that they ended up saying.
Yes, at least P1000 minimum. They like P2000, but at least P1000. And that's the number one thing is loyalty to the company. So myself and Jason look at how long you've been in the company and what rank you are. So if you want to be any sort of that, you guys have to be at least P1000s. Yes. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. Anybody else have any questions?
I have one more. I'm sorry. But as far as like the 4-hour work week, I think you and Caleb, I don't know, Caleb said he mentioned something to you about kind of what we started with ATM Live. But we definitely transitioned it because we never want to take anything away from the products. Like that's where I think our team is really cool that it's headed. Like we're so focused on, because me, myself, I've learned so much from Mike Miles, Chris Derrick, everything like that, you, Spela. So is that 4-hour can transition into, instead of teaching these people, because I mean, we love teaching. I mean, you know how it is as a trader. I love teaching my team. I can sit here 10 hours a day and teach. But at the end of the day, we understand, it's not what works, it's what duplicates. You know what I mean? And I think that was the biggest problem that we saw with, teaching people, is that they got dependent on us. But at the same time, if we stepped away for 2 weeks, what would happen, just like you said. So is that 4-hour work week something that, instead of just sitting there and teaching people trading, we can integrate like one night of trading and one night of, big